Okay, so hello. This is the Mickey 17 review. I'm doing this a little bit weirdly because I really wanted to do this like tonight, but I decided I don't want to get up from the couch to do it. So here we are. I'm holding my phone. I'm gonna be holding my phone. It might be a little weird occasionally. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Try again. The score out of 10 tends to bother me because 4 out of 10 is actually 2 out of 5 if you reduce the fraction, but I digress. I wasn't feeling this movie. I was actually really, really looking forward to it for quite a while because I love science fiction and I like Robert Pattinson and I like Bong Joon-ho. Oh my fuck, I'm forgetting his other movie that won the Oscar. What was it? I'm forgetting the title. I'm so sorry. That's beside the point. Because this movie had a lot of potential. But it was, at best, I'm annoyed. Because remember in my last video I was like, I'm so worried about film as a business. I'm so worried about theaters, da da da. But like seeing this movie and seeing a lot of other movies makes me just confirm the fact that movies are not that good, and that's why people don't get their booty off their couch and go the fuck to a theater to watch one. Case in point, Mickey 17. Okay, so this was a cool idea for a movie. It really was. It was a cool premise, cool ended up being a cool premise. It was a cool plot, right? But the movie itself, I just wasn't feeling it. First of all, I know I annoy myself talking about the ads in front of movies, but like I can't help but mention them because they are in fact a part of the experience. Wow, these ads are awful. I'm fairly confident these ads are the same ones that are playing on like Hulu. They're playing on Hulu, they're playing on YouTube. I pay for ads free, okay? But I'm saying if I saw ads on Hulu or on YouTube, they would probably be the ones before the trailers for the other movies. But anyway, so like that's no bueno, right? There's also, you know what? I gotta say this, okay? Because International Women's Day was the 8th. And today's the 9th. There was this, like, they're trying to do, like, they've done these, like, weird PSAs, sometimes without giving context. And, there's this one, like, PSA that was like, women have been shaping the film industry for decades. No, the fuck they haven't. I wish that weren't true, but, like, they haven't. The fact of the matter is that they haven't. That's like saying women politicians have been shaping the political sphere for decades. Like, no, they fucking haven't. We have not had women politicians that long. Okay? And we don't have a lot of women directors. We don't have a lot of women producers. We don't have a lot of women even writing like big time scripts. We don't have a lot of women working in higher positions at the studios, etc. Okay? Absolutely women work in the industry. There is no question about that. I am not denying that. but like I'm saying that positions of power are generally held by men. So why the fuck would you lie on camera and be like, women have been shaping this industry for years? No, I'm sorry, but we haven't. I don't like the truth. Okay? I don't like reality here, but it's what's going on. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna say one more thing about the ads, and then I'm not gonna fucking talk about them. I'm gonna talk about the movie. They have this weird ass advertisement. I think it's for Chevrolet. I think it was intended to be like a Christmas, like end of the year holiday time ad. And they're still playing it. It's March. It says happy holidays at the end of it. I'm like, do you guys know how to read a fucking calendar? But I digress. Okay, so this movie's premise was very interesting. I will forever have a problem with science fiction because I guess it's because these men, by the way, South Korea is one of like the most sexist places in the world. Just putting that out there. I have a problem with these men who aren't able to properly contemplate the future when we're working with sci-fi. Okay, we're gonna get into that in a minute. One thing I'll say that this is like the very first thing that struck me. I was like, I saw it in the trailer. It was in the trailer, but you know it's different when you're watching the actual movie. It was that Robert Pattinson changed his voice a lot for this movie. I was really surprised. I was like, oh, wow, that's his voice. That was about how high it was too, but I was surprised, honestly. People don't normally do that, but he did that for this movie, so that was actually very cool. Okay. Going back to men aren't able to properly contemplate the future. First of all, I'm going to make this into a short because I'm so goddamn sick of this shit. The word mankind is sexist, and it has been since the 50s. I don't know why we're still using it. You look real incredibly fucking stupid using that word mankind in a movie that takes place centuries in the future. I'm trying to think of another word to compare it to. What's a really outdated word that we just don't say anymore? One will probably come to me by the end of the video, but like humanity. Humanity is the word that you want to say, not mankind. Unless you're specifically talking about men as a group of people, by all means, go ahead, say mankind. I have no issue with that. But if you're talking about the entire human populace, you're talking about men and women. Therefore, saying the word mankind makes you look fucking stupid and sexist. You're welcome. So that was annoying me. I don't remember the first. They said that word about 5 times, which is too many. At one point, Toni Collette's character was like, she said humankind. She said mankind, humankind. Which I liked that. She probably actually flubbed the line, but Junho liked it. I think his actual last name is Bong. Because here we say first name, last name, like Adam Smith. But in Korea, they say, if your name was Adam Smith, they would say Smith Adam. You just say your actual surname first. So I think his first name is Junho. Okay. Anyway. He's a good director. I will say that. But even if you're a good director, it doesn't really matter if the script isn't that good. Sorry. Okay. So, I don't even think I fucking said the plot of this movie. The plot of this movie is that in the future, which they don't even say when it is, which is not super necessary, but obviously it's multiple centuries in the future. So in the future, Mickey, played by Robert Pattinson, applies to work at this space company thing to be an expendable, meaning he will basically be experimented on through scientific means in order to keep this space station science thing safe. And he'll die multiple times. But the thing is that they can create like a carbon copy of his actual body and also download his consciousness, his memories, from the point that they copied him. Okay? So, like, they can't... It sounded like they couldn't make him as, like, 10 years younger, or they couldn't make him 10 years older, or they could only make him as he was when he was copied. How old he was when he was copied. Okay. Anyway, so he dies, and then he's regenerated and does something else, and then he dies doing something entirely different, and then he's regenerated, he's downloaded, and he remembers what's happened to him before. Interesting premise, for sure. Not really a strong storyline throughout. We're going to talk more about the actual movie itself, but there's this phenomenon that I've noticed happening pretty regularly. I would say at least 133 to 66% of the time, 1/3 to 2/3 of the time, where they have what I'm going to call like third act deterioration. Where, like, the beginning of the movie is cool. They set up a cool world and everything. They set up a cool, goal for the main characters. And it's pretty good, first act. And then the second act, it's also it's pretty good. It's starting to get a little sloppy then. But then, by the third act, it's like a shit show. I don't know why this happens. I mean... this is challenging. To be fair, I mean... I'm not going to say that. That's a little rude. I wish I could remember the name of that movie. I'm not going to remember it. Okay, anyway. So, let's get into the depiction of the future. First of all, let me just tell you, I told you guys, I love science fiction. Which is, I really do. Okay, I do. I love science fiction. However, I hate it a lot of the time because the things that they depict happening wouldn't be happening in the future. Like, okay, so in this story, in this science fiction thing, okay, we've established multiple technology has advanced like so insanely, like we can't even comprehend it right now. So what they're able to do in the future is they're able to generate artificial gravity on a giant fucking ship borderline the size of a fucking planet that carries thousands of people, probably tens of thousands of people. They've established how to make artificial gravity for that. That's one thing that's able to be done in the future in this world, right? They're able to create carbon copies of a human being multiple times and download his or her consciousness into a regenerated body, into a regenerated copy of this person. And if you can do that, if you can download their memories and consciousness onto like a hard drive, and download it onto a human, like an organic human being, then why wouldn't you be able to download it into something like a computer or into a different human? So they've established that. What else did I say they've established? Hold on, sorry, I took notes. La la la. So they've established those two things. Anyway, so in this world where they've established artificial gravity and the ability to create carbon copies of human beings, they're still dealing with homelessness. That's still an issue. How fucking stupid. That is so fucking dumb. Like, we're able to create artificial gravity and create carbon copies of human beings, including their consciousness, but we haven't solved homelessness. Miss me with that shit, dude. So incredibly fucking stupid. Let me tell you another thing. And people do this all the time in screenwriting, and it drives me crazy. So, Mickey said that he was on this ship for 4 years, okay? It wasn't super clear, but it was either he was on this ship being experimented on for 4 years and then they landed somewhere, or he was on the ship for 4 years. It didn't say that they landed somewhere at the end of the 4 years. Anyway, okay. But he said that he had been on the ship and had been experimented on for 4 years. And then he was, being regenerated, and he was dying and being experimented on and coming back to life, so to speak. But then he said, the way I got here is... But, okay. Established the 4-year ship ride, right? And then he was probably there for an additional year when they were like they had already landed. He was there for an additional year, maybe close to an additional year once they were landed. He was like, if you're wondering how I got here, and they did a fucking flashback to 4.5 years before. So was that 6 months before he got this job as an expendable? It just seemed like a mistake. Like, I'm saying that people can't do... See, it seems like a lot of people who, write scripts can't do basic math. I thought Asians were supposed to be good at math, but I digress. I don't even know if an Asian person wrote this, but that shit's pissing me off. What else is pissing me off here, I will tell you, is, I would like to know why we can't get a fucking goddamn linear story anymore. Why can't you show me A through Z? Why are you showing me A through F? Why are you showing me C through G and then being like, oh, here's A and B? So you're going C through G, oh, A, B. And you're going H through S, and then being, oh my god, I don't know why we have to do this jumping around. Honestly, I would say that, my guess is, okay, this was popularized with Pulp Fiction. Holy shit, I almost forgot the name. Okay, this is popularized with Pulp Fiction, because what happens in Pulp Fiction is we see the beginning, looks like a normal-ass beginning of a movie. There's all this shit that happens in between, and then we're back to the very beginning. And, people just hadn't really seen that before, and they thought it was really cool, and now we have to fucking jump all the fuck over a goddamn game board to get an entire movie. And it's annoying. It's annoying. Okay, I'll tell you what was 1,000 times more annoying than that happening. Because, if you can do that well, I'm not really mad. This was done pretty well, but I was just not really feeling the whole movie. So that wasn't really a great move. But I'll tell you this, is that the villains in this movie, who were played by Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette, were horrible. I'm not like, oh, they were bad villains. I mean, they were shit characters, They had shit motivations. They were stupid as fuck. And there is no way on the planet that an operation this serious would ever be accompanied by these two dumb shits. That's not what the future looks like, just like for the record. They really had no motivation. They were like annoying and bad and like kind of stupid and trying to thwart things, but like literally I forgot Toni Collette's character, but her character was like, "Oh, I really want sauce. I really want different types of sauces." And then Mark Ruffalo's character was like clearly him trying to act like Trumpkin, which was kind of stupid in my opinion, because he just, I don't care if someone wants to impersonate Trump in their take on a villain in a movie, but I'm saying like the villain overall was just stupid as fuck. It was like he just like, okay, in this movie when they had landed on this planet, it was like an Arctic planet. It was really cold. They found intelligent life. They found intelligent aliens. They were not human-like, but they found them. And Mark Ruffalo was like, "Oh, we gotta kill them all." That's literally why a lot of people want to create advanced space travel and space exploration, is so that we can find other intelligent beings. And the last fucking thing we would do upon meeting said intelligent beings on another planet that it took literal years to get to in a giant ship is kill them. I know it's a movie. I know that science fiction, though it's depicted in the future, is going to reflect present day to some degree. But like when it reflects present day too much, y'all just look foolish. Oh my god. So foolish. Okay. There was this other character named Nasha, who unfortunately was really not well written. Honestly, from the start, when they kind of established her character, I didn't really think she was going to be like a main character. I thought she was going to be like a, a B character. But like by the second half of Act 2 and Act 3, she was a main character. And also, like, they did not establish her well. She's a good actor. Naomi Ackie. She was a lot of fun to watch. She was great at what she did, but like the character itself, it was confusing because, oh my god, you guys. Okay, we're gonna get into it. At one point, so she's with Mickey. They're romantically together, okay? And I'm gonna spoiler alert, okay? The midpoint of the movie is when one of the Mickeys doesn't actually die. So everyone thought he was dead out on this planet. He was actually okay. He was able to go back to camp, go back to the ship, and then there were two Mickeys because they had already created another one of him. So she was with the newer version of him, and then the previous version of him showed up, and she was like, "Sweet, let's have a threesome." The fuck? Fam. I just found that really disturbing. Like, unfortunately, obviously, it made me think of Identical Twins, which we're not even going to get into, but gross. Let me just say this, okay? As far as sex scenes go, so many of them are gratuitous, and I don't like them. And I imagine it's really fun to shoot a sex scene if you're not having a lot of sex in real life. Putting that out there. So anyway, and then also these aliens that they found actually they actually ended up being a really crucial plot point it ended up being a really crucial part of the story, part of the movie. But they didn't really establish that again until like after the midpoint, which I thought was annoying. What was I gonna say? I was about to say something. Oh, my dog just looked up. He's so cute. Hi, Emil. Oh, he's gonna come over. Emil, look, you got piece. What a good pie piece. Yeah. What a good boy. He's happy. Watch out for Chick. He's a good boy, Emil. This movie could have been edited. There were a lot of scenes that were fucking dragged out. I've noticed that happening a lot on TV shows and movies where they just drag scenes out for the longest fucking time. It's like, we understand what's going on. We see what's going on. We don't need 20 more seconds of this. We got it at 5 seconds, okay? Oh man. Okay, one more thing I'm gonna say before I say something else. I truly look forward to the day that we have a movie where the main character or whoever the fuck is about to, press an important button and they just go the fuck ahead and press it and don't have a little chat with the person who's stopping them from doing so or trying to stop them from doing so. I'm so sick of that shit. Okay. So, what I'm also gonna say. Oh man, okay. I almost forgot about this. Like I said, science fiction is going to represent present day to some extent because we can't just erase the fact that we're in present day. What was that one character singing? I guess it wouldn't have been that crazy for this character to have been singing this, but like this one character I think he was whistling Yankee Doodle, which like I'm not sure if we're going to be whistling that, 500 years in the future, but maybe we are. That's a really fucking old song. We're whistling it now, so who knows. But I remember on this one episode of The Orville, Sethi's character was like watching a movie from the 40s. And someone commented on it, like from the 1940s, and this show takes place like over 300 years in the future. And someone was like, why are you watching that old movie? And then he was like, oh, my parents really wanted me to watch the classics, which was a movie from 400 fucking years ago, dude. Seems a little unlikely. Anyway. That really does bother me when there are like pop culture references to present day when we're in the fucking future. But I digress. Okay, I did appreciate that it was established that a psychopath created the technology to copy human beings because, let's be real here, a lot of people who do really serious science are cuckoo. Let's not forget. Also, there was at one point, like, obviously the characters had, like, committed crimes or whatever. They were in trouble. And, like, they were talking about putting them to death. And I'm like, yo, in the future, we don't do that, okay? You guys know that the United States is the only developed country that still has the only first world country that still has the death penalty? It's a worse punishment to live. Dying is a fucking gift. If you asked me, do you want to spend the rest of your life in a cell in solitary confinement, or do you want to die? I'd be like the latter, thanks. It also costs more to kill someone with the death penalty than it does to keep them alive until they're 90 years old in a prison. And, for that matter, if you're in solitary confinement and you don't really talk to anyone for 300 days or more, your brain goes to shit. I'm telling you, your brain will be fried from not having proper interactions with other human beings, and you're going to be loopy for the rest of your life. That is way the fuck more of a punishment than it is to kill someone. Killing is merciful in comparison. Look at this guy. This is actually not Pirate. This is Boba. Ooh, he's a little black cat and he's so cute. Okay, so what I'm going to say, I say a couple more things and then I'm going to end this video. I would really like to see more optimistic depictions of the future. These, like, depressing, like, shitty, like, weird depictions of the future, I don't appreciate. And for that matter, I am begging you, if I could get on my hands and knees right now, I would, but I'm not getting up from the couch. I'm begging you to create actually innovative and interesting set design for spaceships in movies. Because Star Wars, Mickey 17, and that horrible fucking movie that, what the fuck is Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence were in, all have the same fucking looking ships. Are you guys just like copy pasting like your set design there? Cause like it looks horrible. It is horrible. And like you need to get creative. Okay? I really don't appreciate the fact that so many futuristic movies also have so much problematic shit still happening in them. Like, you guys, feel free to write this down, okay? In the future, we're not going to have gestational prostitution, colloquially known as surrogacy. We're not going to have gestational prostitution. We're not going to have homelessness because we're going to have better access to abortion and better education about sex and child rearing. We are not going to do something like create a $1 trillion spaceship and put an idiot politician on it for funsies and just see how it goes. We're also not going to have depressing looking spaceships, and we're not even going to have depressing looking spaces in the future. I'm telling you. Unless it's like a prison or something, then it might be depressing, but like I just wish that people would expand their minds more when it comes to science fiction in the future. I actually started writing this big fucking thing about the future, about what it's going to look like. Maybe I'll share it with y'all at some point. But 4 out of 10. I'm not going to watch it again. Waiting for a 10 out of 10. I don't know if that's going to happen again. Listen, if you really like Robert Pattinson and you like Bong Joon-ho, then go ahead and watch this movie. But in all seriousness, why don't you just wait till it comes on a streaming service, because I wouldn't recommend going to the theater for this. Bye!